you have time for this?
Hey, buddy. It's TopDog. Hey, buddy. It's TopDog. Hey, buddy. It's TopDog.
You need to wipe down.
It's TopDog.
Spoke to the man today.
All right.
And had a really, really interesting conversation.
Okay.
Touched on a bunch of different topics.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, shit.
Ah, jeez. Blue band.
Would you like to get right into it?
I'd love to.
Let's just get right into it.
I love it.
And then we can,
How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's up, man?
I just went to one of those sushi joints for dinner tonight.
Yeah, are you a sushi fan?
I hate sushi.
You do?
I hate anything that hasn't been cooked. I'm pretty much like meat and potatoes, so
You're not really an adventurous eater, I would say.
No, I like, I like stuff that's tried and true. So I like, I had, scallops and shrimp. A lot of times I get filet mignon, shrimp and scallops. But, all this fancy curling up stuff.
Curling up.
I mean, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But, a lot of these young women today, and they're really into that. Young crowd's really into that stuff.
The young crowd is into the sushi.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean,
young gals?
Particularly the girls. I mean, it's like, it's like vitamins for them, okay?
Okay.
Unbelievable, And
is it like
what?
He sounds like when you get to the point where you realize your parent or parents are like, oh, this is when the aging's really taking effect, when you're starting to say like gals love their vitamins, I mean sushi, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's incoherent. It's sweet brown.
Yeah. He's like, ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Yeah.
they say, when they order, I don't even know what they're saying.
You know that I love sushi, right?
You love sushi?
I love sushi. By the way, just before we continue, this is the kind of shit I deal with my whole life. My dad, he has known that I love sushi for 17 years. Mm-hmm. Right now, you like sushi? Like, it's like, were you paying attention at all?
But I don't think we've had it with him.
Believe me, I've been ordering it since high school.
Okay.
Like, I would eat that 5 days a week.
I mean, I can't stand it, quite frankly.
Did you ever? That was the dog. Sorry about that, guys. Fucking goddamn dog. Actually try it?
Yeah.
You did try it. What did you try?
I don't know how to pronounce any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, how about like whitefish, tuna, salmon? How about those words?
First of all, the only kind of tuna I like is tuna salad sandwiches.
Oh my God.
And there, put some eggs, some pickles, mayo.
Jesus.
A little salt on it, mix it up real good, put it on some nice white bread, make myself.
You're really straining. Are you taking a shit right now?
No, I was moving. I was up letting the dog go out. Had my quota of 3 today.
3? Is that that's your normal quote?
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
3 every day?
3.
Absolutely.
Never.
Absolutely.
Wait, there's the 8:15 a.m. That's the only one that I knew was certain. What else is there every day?
Well, I usually sometimes after have lunch, sometimes, that triggers kind of a mini gas attack. And anytime I start blowing farts, 30 minutes later, I'll be dropping one in the toilet.
Really?
Absolutely. Did that. And then, a lot of times I'll have one, early evening. After dinner, it seems like once I have a meal, it kind of pushes things through.
That's nice.
And so normal is, it usually bombs away 3 times a day for me.
Wow, I didn't realize you were up to that already.
Yep.
That's really great. your lack of adventure when it comes to eating reminds me of this kid. When I was in Spain, when I studied that semester in Spain, this kid... we would meet, like the group would meet together like once every couple weeks. And after our second session, we were all talking about settling in, and he was like, yeah, the only thing I can't get over is how bad the food is. And we were all like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, I've been eating at Burger King every day. And we're like, you are living in Spain right now, and you eat at Burger King every day? And he was like, yeah.
You're kidding. Even that's even a stretch for a guy like me.
Yeah. For the record, that's 100% true.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
Blew everybody's goddamn mind. And this kid was like, the funny thing is the kid was looking at us for comfort. Like, he thought we were all going to be like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, let's go to McDonald's.
And he was just like so alone. Everybody was like, what are you talking about, man?
But there's always that one kid when you study abroad that refuses to stop being American.
Spanish food.
I know, it's like the best.
Unbelievable.
Well, there was a kid in England that we dared him to eat 4 quarter pounders with cheese, so that equals 1 pound of McDonald's beef.
Oof.
Yeah, he did it.
Oof.
He was from Tennessee.
But at least that was in England, where you're like, all right.
During the year that that foot and mouth disease was there, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You like French food and Spanish food, I think. Yeah.
I think, first of all, you know, the thing that there's not much that the French do that they're number one in the world in. Mm-hmm. You know, but one thing they are number one in the world in is food. They can
food.
Cook the sauces.
Yeah.
And you know, when you look around the world, you look at a lot of the top restaurants. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot in this country, particularly Lubbock Finn, and you know, remember the Masonette in Cincinnati and different places. They're French restaurants.
Oh yeah, what's it called? The number one a lot lately has been the French Laundry, which is a Thomas Keller restaurant out here, and then his other restaurant, Per Se, in New York, is also French.
Yeah. I mean they just know how to cook. Yeah. You know, it's probably what they do best in the world is cooking.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? You and I both have like a real love of just really. I mean, obviously, I think I like more different styles and flavors, but we both like going to a really good restaurant. And
well, I remember we were up in Maine, and we just wanted to chow down a lobster, and we had a hard time finding a big lobster in any restaurant.
That was weird. But then remember, we asked the right person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, go over to this asshole's place," and they had the big ones. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had a 4.5 pound lobster in Minneapolis one time.
I don't know why he keeps straining.
What's the strain about?
I don't know. Well, I
had Voltaire downtown. Oh, I'll never forget it. That thing and the claw meat. Oh,
I got something set up for when you're out here to get some big ones in you. And this is when we should make our announcement, just so you guys know. TopDog and Charo are coming out to L.A.
What?
And they're going to do an entire episode of Your Mom's House.
Can you even believe that?
Can you wrap your head around that?
It's going to be crazy.
A full episode of the two of them.
You know what we should do is take questions from listeners if they have any for both of them.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. Big Lobster.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah, you know, and when you shift from the kind of basically, you know, I would describe my diet as like the all-American diet, okay?
Yeah.
Meat, potatoes, a few veggies, not too much fruit, every once in a while some fruit. But,
yeah.
You know,
not too much fruit.
When you go to those like lobster, seafood things, that screws up your schedule a little bit.
That fucked me up when we were having all that seafood. It was definitely a shift.
Definitely. I mean, basically the whole texture, the whole smell, the whole thing changed. You know, and that's why you kind of have to being kind of a guy that's experienced like I am. I know how to deal with those. I can take those curveballs and handle them.
Yeah, you can. You're a real pro. Hey, I told you earlier, but I wanted to just refresh this. So before we continue here, this is actually a really good time to mention this because TopDog and Charo are coming out here. Why don't you guys go ahead and send your questions? If you have questions for them, they're coming out in March. Send it to Your Mom's House Podcast. Is that right? Yeah. No, fuck. I'm sorry. Your Mom's Podcast at gmail.com. I know it's super annoying that the name doesn't fucking match the show. And that happened because a long time ago, I just thought it was too long of an email address, and I realized what a huge mistake that is. But anyways, yourmomspodcast@gmail.com. Any questions that you have that you want asked to TopDog and Charo, they'll be in studio. So it'll be unlike any other time when we call them. They'll be right here live. We're going to keep them here as long as we can. And we're looking at, hopefully a couple hours of them. We're going to hit all the bases. We're going to do all the regular segments, everything that we haven't done. We'll do it all, but a question segment might be really fun. Okay, so back to this now. Just that I started going to this place where we're doing a lot of powerlifting in this gym.
Oh, yeah.
Like these powerlifting, basically group classes. And this is true, guys. I have started doing this. Thinking back to, how dedicated you were, a competitive weightlifter.
1961 Kentucky featherweight champion. In the 1962 fourth from the Teenage Nationals in Chicago as a lightweight. And then I also was the 1975 Ohio light heavyweight champion.
Jesus Christ.
181 and 3/4 pound class.
Okay, so when you weighed 181 and 3/4 pounds, tell me your best lifts, just so I can have this in mind while I'm lifting.
Well, I mean, my in those days, they eliminated the press, but prior to that, the press was 245. My best press from snatch, which was my signature lift, I was 255, and then clean and jerk with 305.
Were you good at snatch?
My signature lift, I really had people literally at competitions would come up to me and say to me, I don't know how you do that.
Because you're just so good at it.
I really was.
So humble.
He loves talking about how good he is at shit. For people that don't know, this is true. He was a competitive weightlifter for many, many years. And my childhood, I remember just watching him, power lift in the either garage or the basement. Like, he loved some fucking weightlifting, man. Loved that shit. And was really, really good. I mean, 2-time state champion. This is way before people took supplements and all that shit,
Hey,
you told me earlier, you were like, God, I was good at that.
I was so good at the snatch. I could.
How good are you at public speaking?
Oh, I'm born to be a public speaker. I love public speaking. Let's put it this way: the bigger the crowd, the less nervous I get. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So just so I remember, 245 was your best press. 255 was your snatch.
Yes.
And 305 was clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk.
How about power clean? How much could you power clean then?
Best power clean I ever did was 290 once. Power clean 290.
That's a lot of weight. But you clearly could get over that if you clean and jerked 305.
Yeah. But I don't know what made me. I think I had gained a little weight. I was probably I put on a little weight. I was probably about 190 when I did the 290 power clean.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you do back in the day? You guys did you do supplements and creatine?
No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff.
Nothing.
I mean, this was all nada, zero, nothing. There was. I heard of some people in the country were using a steroid called Dianabol, but it was. I never ate, meat and potatoes, a lot of steak.
How many days a week were you eating steak?
Oh, I would say I probably had steak 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh my God. How did he shit?
Oh my God, that's a lot of red meat.
Well, first of all, I'm living by myself.
Yeah.
Number 2, when you live by yourself, you want something you can cook. Get out the old frying pan.
Yeah.
Put the old T-bone on the frying pan.
Yeah.
Turn the exhaust fan on in the kitchen. Make sure that, and have that thing. I used to have broccoli. I like broccoli, and then I put a little mayonnaise on the broccoli, give it a little flavor.
Oh my God, you are such a fucking barbarian.
Mayonnaise.
And A1 sauce, of course, which I think is the world's greatest condiment, is A1 sauce.
I've been mortified with you at restaurants. We're like in a high-end steakhouse, and you're like, "You guys got A1?" And they're like, "For what?" And you're like, "For this $40 steak I just bought."
Well, remember, it's me. I'm trying to satisfy, not them. Okay?
I hear you loud and clear.
I agree.
And so I'm not sitting there too. And
I know, we've literally been to. I mean, I was playing it down. I mean, the best steak houses in America, and they bring out the most gorgeous, perfectly prepared and seasoned steak.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Anything else we can get you, gentlemen?" And I go, "Get some A1."
Yeah.
And they're like, some A1 for, and he's like, for that steak. And
I like it too, though. I feel like I like that tang.
Mm-hmm.
It's like perfect. It makes even really good meat.
I gotta be honest, it does make me a little crazy. Why? I mean, when
it's
you're talking
putting
about
ketchup on your rice, you have to do that too.
Yeah, but the difference is that rice is bland and flavorless, and the steak that we're talking about is like out of this world.
I know, but I would actually ask for A1 more than I do if I weren't eating with you, because I know that you feel that way and that you probably get really mad. Yeah.
No, I would never get mad. No.
I feel like it's an insult to the restaurant.
It depends on the level of restaurant. If we're at like a really nice steakhouse where like that's what they do is they have like this dry aged.
Yes, and I want A1.
Really?
I still do.
Oh, please never hold back. I never want to do that to you. Oh my God. That's making me feel terrible.
Well, you should be. You're judgy. You're elitist about your steaks.
I am a little elitist about my steaks.
You are, totally.
But I'd sit down there at night and have my chow down on that and, and then go to the gym. Typical workout in the gym, average 2 hours.
Jesus. And it was just nonstop fucking go.
Oh, you'd have... you might do work on the press. You might do 10, 12 sets with the press.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Yeah.
10 sets.
10, sometimes more, depending on what we're working on. And then, work on the snatch, and you do power snatches, and, and then you do snatches off. And so we would probably do, again, minimum of 10 sets of snatches.
Christ, this is crazy.
And then you do, your squats, and then you do practice your jerks out of the rack, and then you work on your power cleans, and
all right,
and so then finally finish it off with a whole bunch of squats. So you do all that. It takes about 2 hours.
Now you were so dedicated that you would pass on like dates to work out, right?
Right. I mean, I worked out every Friday night, and I would leave work, had my gym clothes, go to the gym, work out, and then if I was going on a date that night, it would be, wouldn't be till later,
My
like
name is
8:30.
Jennifer Ford, and I do.
But
and if the girl was like, "Well, pick me up at like 6:30,"
she didn't get picked up. Okay.
And were you like, "Bitch, I'll pick you up when I'm done, and I'll let you suck my dick"?
No, I never talk like
Fuck
that.
you, you stupid bitch, like that.
I'd say, look, I would say, it's my priority, and I got to tell you what happened. Christmas 1972. Going out with this girl, and it's her Christmas party for a company. She worked for First National Bank in Cincinnati.
You put it in her ass?
No, this was just very nice conservative girl.
Okay.
So we're she had the long dress on, and I had the coat and tie on, and so we're going to her company Christmas party, and she's kind of showing me off to all her friends. I'm like the man in her life and all that shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about midnight, and I said, "It's getting late. I got to get going." And she says, "What do you mean you have to get going? This is a Christmas party." I said, "No, but I got a contest. I got to drive to Louisville tomorrow because I got a weightlifting contest tomorrow." Well, shit. January 4th, we were history.
Oh, really?
Yep.
She was like, "Your weightlifting is a priority over this puss?"
Exactly. And of course, what she didn't understand is that, and then I had another girl one time.
Well, what she didn't understand is that you can get pussy in any city at any time. So I don't need you. And is that basically what you said to her when you broke up with her?
She broke up with me.
But you were like, no big deal. I can cook a lot of puss out there without you. I don't need you, bitch. Did you say that?
Well, that wasn't exactly the words that I used, okay?
So, genuine, though.
Shit. We were history. And then, a year later, I had another girlfriend, a nice girl. And so one of the things about weightlifting contests, unless you're like married to one of the contestants, they're pretty boring to watch.
I bet they are. But so there's another story, but I'm going to save it for next time. It's one of my favorite stories ever. It's one of the best stories he has ever told, but I'm going to save it for the next.